Well, happy Sunday. It is Sunday, November 30th, and welcome to R&R Enterprise Adventures. I know you're looking at these ingredients right here that I'm displaying. There's some simple ingredients, but we all just got through Thanksgiving. We have Christmas coming, and I know some of us are looking for some ideals that are low carb because we're not trying to pack on all the pounds. We're still trying to be grown and sexy and maintain and not make the scale go up. So I had a bag of spinach that was in the refrigerator. We know how vegetables can spoil. Didn't want them to spoil. And so I thought, what could I come and do that would get this utilized? So we're a new channel. Just a little bit about me. I have no fear in saying I am a seasoned woman at the age of 56. I've been cooking since I was 15. I've also been baking since I was 15. So this is some of what you will see when you come to view our channel, other than some small sharing of everyday life. You are subject to see me cooking. You are subject to see me baking. You are subject to see our travels. You are subject to see some restaurant reviews, some fast food reviews. You're subject to see some things that my honey does in the background that he's skilled in, as far as anything from mechanics to fixing to doing something with fish tanks. We have, I think it's 5 or 6 fish tanks in here. How many fish tanks are here, babe?
6 total.
Okay, so you're subject to see a lot of things going on. So I am not a recipe cooker for the most part. I'm 90% just hands free because this is something that I've been blessed to do with my hands. So I'm just inviting you all to cook with me. I'm not calling this cooking tutorials because I will not always be jotting down what recipes are because I just cook. So with the spinach, what we're going to do is make a crustless spinach quiche, which will cut back on the carbs. So right now, I'm just showing you some of the ingredients. You will see the spinach there. And before I name off some more ingredients here, I'm going to get a little olive oil to heat up here in the pan. And we will move that to the side because this will be all the oil that we will need. I need just a little bit more. We're going to let that start to warm up. And also while we're here, we're going to go ahead and set this oven to 350 degrees. So that it will be preheated. While I'm waiting for the skillet to warm up, just going to talk about some of the ingredients here. You see the spinach there in the bowl. We have some cheese. I would normally say shredded cheese. Is not quite shredded, as we will know, because I used this kitchen gadget that's right here that's been on the home shopping channel on QVC. Just going to gauge in just a little bit. It has helped to get the cheese to the consistency where it is. You will need just maybe, if this is in a recipe, maybe 1/8 of a spoon of salt. But I'm not going to use salt because you see this Kinder's wood-fired garlic. How many of you guys like Kinder's products? I find if you are not making your own blends, Kinder's has a whole array of seasoning blends that I find to be quite well. Also, there's 4 eggs in this bowl that has been beaten. You see the garlic. I have chopped up 3 cloves of garlic. I've chopped up 1 small onion. And in this cup, you see heavy cream. I would say it's about maybe a half a cup of heavy cream. And I'm going to use some black pepper. And you also see nutmeg. Now, what you will find, I know that you guys know from your mamas and your grandmamas and your big mamas, a lot of people are used to seeing nutmeg being used in sweets like peach cobblers, sweet potato pies, but nutmeg is a spice that can be used in savory dishes as well. It can be used even if you're just simply sauteing spinach. It's very versatile. It's used in a lot of other activities of cooking outside of sweets. So we're just going to go over here, check to see where the oil is. And I will say this is about ready to start sauteing. We're going to saute the spinach and the onion and garlic until it's just, and you hear that sizzle. That's also something that lets you know that you're ready to start cooking. And you can just pile it on in there. Most of you that have dealt with cooking fresh spinach, or if you are used to cooking greens, collard greens, turnip greens, mustard greens, doesn't matter the pile you see, because we know what is going to do what. It's going to dwindle down and almost become nothing. So we're just going to saute the spinach. We're going to add the onion. We're going to add the garlic, and then we're going to incorporate that into the egg mixture that we're going to make. And this crustless quiche will come together right along. So I hope everybody had a nice Thanksgiving, whether you were spending it with your family, whether you were spending it with your friends, even if you decided to have a quiet day by yourself. I hope it was well enjoyed. I know that the calendar can sometimes tell us times of when we're supposed to do a lot of whatever, but my philosophy when it comes to Thanksgiving, every day is a day of Thanksgiving, not just the date that man says we need to pause for Thanksgiving. We have so much to be thankful for on a daily basis. So you see how this spinach, when I put it in, it has dwindled down a lot. I'm going to come in with the onion, and we're just going to let that sweat a little bit, because it's also going to continue cooking once it goes into the oven. So this is one of those dishes where you really don't have to be concerned about how far the onion has cooked, because it's still going to be cooking, because we have another process. We're going to come in with the garlic. If a lot of you have not dealt with garlic, fresh garlic, you want to be careful when you are sauteing, when you're doing anything with it, because you do not want your garlic to burn. I'm not going to put too much seasoning in here because I'm going to put some in with the egg mixture, but I am big on flavor. So we're just going to put just a little dash of salt in there, just a little bit of pepper, And I'm going to put just a splash of the Kinders. And even though in the batter, I'm going to come back with some of those again because it's called layering and building on flavor. So right now, this is about where we want to be. And as I said, before Christmas, I'm going to try to make a few other videos with some desserts and maybe a few videos with just some simple recipes that people can do that you possibly can give to people as gifts. As I said, we are a new channel. I set this up back in September, but I had been afraid to start posting. But with anything new in life, you just have to step out there and do it afraid. So there may be some flaws in here. There may be some flaws in what I'm saying, whether it's grammatically, whether it's how I'm adding the ingredients, but that's just a part of the learning curve. But if you enjoy these type of videos, we would like for you to like, comment, subscribe, and become a part of the Enterpriser community. Leave it in the comments for me, and that's just the oven letting me know that it's ready at 350. But in the comments, let me know, how was your Thanksgiving? What's your plans coming up for Christmas? Do you have New Year plans? And because of this being a low carb dish, anybody have any dishes that's low carb that you would like to share? So we're going to turn this off right now. And we're going to let this start to cool a bit. And I'm going to finagle you a bit. And I'm going to bring you over this way. To our bowl where I have the spinach. As you see here, I'm just whipping up the eggs just a little bit more. You're going to see me pour that into our bowl. And like I said, I'm making a crustless spinach quiche. I'm going to incorporate some cheddar cheese in here. Now, a spinach quiche, whether it's crustless, whether it's not, there are other ingredients that you could add in here that I'm not adding today that I actually do like. The number one ingredient that I don't have right now in this that I did not take out the freezer is a pack of bacon. I love the taste of bacon and spinach together. I just think it is very flavor bomb. It is very yummy-licious. Now you see me adding some cheese in here. That's about, if I would have to say, 1.5 cups of cheese that I'm incorporating in here right now. And I'm going to just go ahead and put in a little couple sprinkles of nutmeg. You know, I spoke about earlier that nutmeg is very versatile. I'm going to put a little bit of Kinders. The Kinders that I'm using right here is the wood-fired hardwood smoked flavor. This here is a wonderful seasoning. whether you are using it for meat, whether you are using it for vegetables, whether you are using it in a soup, whatever you're using it for, it's a nice seasoning to have. Now, the next thing that I'm going to add here is some heavy cream. Even if you don't have heavy cream available, if you have some half and half, even if you have some milk, you can use that. Use what you have. There are some ingredients when it comes to this that you do not have to go out to the store and buy anything. If you happen to have the half and the heavy whipping cream that I have right here on hand, it just makes it more creamy. But the half and half, also the milk, that will do fine. So I'm just giving this a little stir. I'm going to come in with our spinach mixture. You will also have to watch how you put this in, because our spinach mixture right now, it is not totally cool. So there's times you will have to temper your ingredients, because you do not want your eggs to start turning into scrambled eggs in the mixture. So we're just gonna get this where it's coming on down. And we're just gonna start to temper some of this in, and that just means I'm doing some stirring right now because I do not want the eggs to start cooking. We're gonna get all this gooey, and I shouldn't necessarily say gooey because more of the gooey is in the bowl, but this is a nice tasting mixture for those who happen to enjoy eating spinach. Now, you know what? I love spinach, but I cannot do canned spinach. I will not eat that whatsoever. Fresh spinach, sauteed in some kind of recipe, I can eat. I can even eat frozen spinach, but something about the canned spinach, I have never liked the taste of it since I was a child, and I still cannot stand it to this particular day. So this is all the ingredients. Like I said, there are other things you can add to this. Someday I will come back and do some more videos as far as a full quiche with the crust, or maybe crustless, just like I did today, but with more ingredients. So we're going to come back over here to the stove. You see I have a cast iron skillet here that's already been greased, and I'm just going to pour the mixture over in the skillet. Now, it does not have to be a cast iron skillet. You can bake in any kind of pan, any kind of casserole dish. Even if you have an 8 or 9 inch cake pan, you can put this in anything when you're doing something that's crustless and it doesn't have a crust. So we will pour it in. Okay, there we go. Make sure that everything is evened out. And this here, I would say, is ready to go into the oven. We're just gonna pop this in the oven. We're going in. And I will check back with you once it is ready. And again, if you tuned in to this, if this is content that you like, if you like watching cooking videos, if you like watching just everyday life, if you like watching travel videos, shopping videos, critique of restaurants, we welcome you to like, comment, and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything but just to press that subscribe button, and we will say welcome to the Enterprise community. So once this is ready, I will come back, show you what it looks like when it comes out the oven. So our spinach and cheddar crustless quiche is out of the oven, and it looks absolutely scrumptious. And if we had smell-o-vision, the aroma that's in here, even my honey is saying how good it smells. And he, unfortunately, doesn't eat spinach, but he's so enthralled by the aromatics that's going through the house right now that he's subject to eat a piece of this, or at least try a fork. Doesn't that look good? Just go in a little bit. So I have cut a slice. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Like I said earlier, it smells so good. I told you even my honey in the background is talking about the aromatics in the house, and he doesn't even eat spinach. I'm just going to sample a piece here. Not a piece, but a fork. Yes, I kicked the stand. This is real life every day. This is absolutely yummy, delicious. I'm just not saying it because I fixed it, and I can cook, I can bake. I know my capabilities. Not sounding cocky, but it's just how it is. But this is simply delicious. If I could share with you, I would. Matter of fact, I would just share with you guys just out there in cyber world. Here's your fork. Take your bite. Absolutely delicious. Like I said, this will not be the only cooking video. Sorry for the pause. I don't like talking with food in my mouth, but I will be coming back to you with more things. As I said earlier, come back, visit me again, like, comment, and subscribe. Join us, be an enterpriser here with this R&R Enterprise Adventures. You never know what you may find here. So on this upcoming week, I hope everyone has a good new week, positive vibes, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.